Hello, my loves. So today I started writing my light language book. Isn't that fun? It's been forever. I started light language in 2020, and now I'm finally writing the book. Um, it's funny because I've met so many people doing soul blueprint readings, and a lot of times when I do soul blueprint readings for them, what comes through, especially if they're light language activated, their soul always brings through a light language book. So it's funny because I've been telling so many people that I feel a light language book inside of them. And I did have one of my past clients, as well as my beautiful divine bestie, she wrote a divine light language book. And I realized that there are not many light language books out there. So I have started my light language book, y'all. And I am excited because I feel like it'll come out by the end of the year or so. Maybe sooner, I don't know, but I'm just gonna take my time with it. I already have an outline, and it's not gonna be like super deep. It's gonna be like, I want to get, I know I'm here to write multiple light language books. So I feel like this is the first one of the series. And this one's going to be more of like the beginner, as well as, it's going to be more of a beginner light language book that's going to come through. And I'm excited because not only is it going to be just a beginner book, it's also going to teach people how to speak light language, how to start the process of connecting with their soul language. And I think that's really valuable. And of course, I'm going to teach you in the most beautiful, divine, pristine way, meaning that when you connect to, whether it be if I'm bringing in angels or your soul, you're going to be connecting to the purest light. Because a lot of you know that when I started connecting with light language, I didn't know all these things. I didn't know about boundaries and protecting your energy and things of that sort. Like, I didn't know about that, which spun me out, and I didn't have the best experience learning light language in the beginning. But I always say I'm grateful for what I've experienced because I teach light language like that now. Right? Because I make sure that I have all the bases covered so that anyone that's being guided by me is now going to have a beautiful experience and really connect to the purest divine frequencies of light. So, as some people say, everything happens for a reason. But I'm also very grateful that as that was happening, I had in particular, my beautiful divine healer, Glinda, I had her around me that just really helped me figure everything out and create a new narrative to create the space that, got me here, right? Because when I really started channeling, after she helped me correct my process, that is when everything happened. That is when everything just became even more miraculous, right? So I'm extremely grateful for the beautiful people in my life that have helped me achieve, oh my God, I'm already thinking about the thank you page. Like, who's gonna be on my thank you page? I've had so many amazing mentors, and different lessons came from different mentors, but yeah, I'm excited to give some shout outs to my beautiful book, yeah, I'm very excited to give some shout outs to my beautiful divine mentors and guides. I'm very lucky. I'm extremely lucky. Like I said, one in particular, Glinda, just did the damn thing. She just, and I want to say this, I want to reflect this. I just had another beautiful soul join the Light Language Academy today, and I met her in Canada when I was speaking, and she told me, for the event, I was speaking and doing a light language workshop, but I was also running the whole energy for the whole event to make sure that it was pristine, like nothing's getting in them doors, honey, right? Because it's Kundalini energy is even more intense when you're really unwinding the body and going so deep, right? And she told me, she was like, I would love to study with you. I would love to be your mentor. And one of the things she was like, I would love to understand how to do the energy events like you did. And I'm like, yes. yes, because I feel like, and this is what I always say, and if you've listened to a lot of my videos, I always say this, I feel like there's so many amazing facilitators, but I feel like there are facilitators that know how to anchor the space and make it pure light and love. And really, it's not about just pure light and love. It's about creating a space where people can actually truly do deep, profound healing. When those boundaries are not set, people can't go as deep as they, as the service is meant to provide. So holding space for people, it is such a multi-layered experience, a multi-layered learning capacity, but at the same time, it's very easy. It's like once you understand, once you're in tune with the type of events that you would love people to experience, and that's when you can create that space, right? Once you're in tune with working with the purest divine beings of light, that's when you can create this massive, juicy, delicious space that people have life-changing experiences at. And I've heard things, and I've also experienced them myself, where I've heard people going into events and feeling like they have attachments, and they're like, oh, no, like, and they're getting fearful and they're getting scared and they don't want to go even deeper, right? I've heard about that. I've had my own experience with that, and which I'm going to use the word piss me off because it does, it's like, those were times when I was going into those places, I wanted to do deep healing, right? One of the times was when I had my big breakup in 2021, and that was, monumental for me. And to be going through the really, deep twin flame breakup, and then go into an event and get shit attached to me. No. So that's why, if you're listening to this and you're a facilitator, and maybe you've been creating events, and maybe you know how to set your events, and you're like, girl, I got you, I got it. And I'm like, yes. But maybe if you are a facilitator and you're thinking right now, ooh, am I setting up my events in the 444? Hey, angels are like, yep. Think about it. Am I setting up my events and my spaces? If you're in the online space, one-to-one calls, everything. Am I setting up my spaces in the right way? Am I clearing my spaces in the right way? Am I creating the best, space for my beautiful clients to grow, evolve, and advance? Am I tick? And I know that I do want to do like a masterclass on this, because I think it's very important. It's extremely important. It's been on my heart, y'all, for years. And I like I said, if you follow me, you know that I preach this all the damn time. So even when the beautiful soul approached me to do the event in Canada, my first thing was like, yes, who's doing your energy? Who's doing the energy of the event? And I was like, can I do the energy? This is what I would love to offer you. Boom, 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 boom. And she was like, yes. And I was like, yes. Because also she was one of my clients. So she know that I don't play. She know that I do not play, right? So food for thought. It's not hard to take that extra step, right? You already have so many beautiful divine gifts, and just think of when you really create that beautiful container, people are going to be, 555. What? Angel numbers are hot. Let's take a moment and let's just do a little prayer. Divine angels, thank you for showing up for us today and every single day. Thank you for showing us that these are beautiful divine topics, and this is the change that gets to happen in the spiritual community, in the healing community at the highest capacity, because there's so many people, right? One of my old clients, she went to Mexico, and after she went to Mexico, she had one of the shittiest years of her life. And if you're listening to this, you know who you are, and you know I fucking love you. But when she came to me and we did our session together, we cleared her all up, and then she started, growing and evolving and living a higher vibrational life, which she deserved. And a lot of times people aren't realizing that. They're just going, I'm just going to go into the space, and you walk out with more than you came in with, and that's not okay. That's not okay. So whenever I'm doing any type of healing with people, I'm always tuning in. Is this facilitator for the highest good of myself? Is this space for the highest good of myself? And yeah, so just do a little tune in. And even when I'm in Bali, especially in Bali or Mexico, places, big vortexes, a lot of spiritual people, a lot of people just throwing things at the wall. Always, always, always just tune in. Is this for my highest good? Yes. Is this for my highest good? No. And pay attention to your intuitiveness, because, we can all be naive, and I was very naive, right? I went to a lot of things and I was just like, oh, this is great, but then I was like, oh, I don't feel good anymore. This is not cute. So you learn from the experiences, and now I get to have a voice on this. So if this illuminated something inside of you today, we did it. We fucking did it, right? And I'm always like, even though I have so much wisdom and I've unlocked so much of my soul gifts and opportunities, I'm always learning. I'm always evolving. And even, technically, I started the Light Language Academy in 2021. So this is technically the 4th year, and I'm still adding to the Light Language Academy because it's my baby. It's my legacy, right? And if there's something new that I'm learning and I feel like people in the academy would benefit from it, then heck to the yes. I think in 2020, 2023, maybe I studied about nervous system. So of course there was 2 beautiful new modules into the Light Language Academy about the nervous system, and then I've studied more about the nervous system, so there's gonna be more modules about the nervous system and heart consciousness and magic and miracles and blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings. So yeah, keep evolving, y'all. Keep evolving. Know that your gifts are magical, and the world definitely it'll be beneficial for the world to experience them. And if you are feeling really called to understand, how to create a space, or, there's a lot of events, there's a lot of spiritual events, and maybe this is something that you would love to offer, is being able to run the space for other spiritual events. So those beautiful divine, guides don't have to do the energy work for that. And that's something that you want to do. This is what I teach in the Light Language Academy, y'all. So this is what I teach in the Light Language Academy. If this is something that you personally want to learn, I also have one-to-one coaching, and just message me. Hey, Melissa, I want to learn how to activate the space and hold the space and clear the space, and I want to learn about it. So if that's something you're interested in, just send me a cute little DM, and anything else that I tapped on in here as well. But it's funny because I actually just came on to do like a light language transmission, but let's do it, shall we? We're going to do a heart consciousness transmission. Take a deep breath in. Shuroko okanya matra ay mutra yamanayana. Shodianaya. Shodianaya. Tanayamu. Shoriakanaya mutru. Shodiakanaya mutru. Shodiakanaya makanaya makanaya matru. Shakamandraka anaya adrakoshutakashi. Thank you for receiving this beautiful transmission. Whatever sparked yourself today, feel free to leave a comment. I would love to know what your takeaway was from this beautiful random video. And so it is. I love you. And you'll see me soon.